Well, it was good to always good to be in front of our people, our fans here at Autzen, and it was great to be able to play a lot of players today. It was good to start faster than we did the previous week. Certainly there were some things that you always want back that you can improve upon, but like the juice, the energy, the enthusiasm, and one of the best things we probably did was in the fourth quarter, let the 2s and 3s play and close out the game you're supposed to. Here at the University of Oregon. So obviously lots of things to talk about. Lots of guys touched the ball. It was good to see some guys that hadn't actually had their opportunities to get them today. They made the most of them, and on to game number 3.
You're back here, Tyson. I gave it to you, Andrew. You were too slow.
Man, right at you, huh? Right at you. Got to have thick skin around here, Andrew.
How did you like the way your defense adjusted to them starting a different type of quarterback than maybe you guys were initially planning?
Yeah, it's something that we expected. We feel we have some pretty good players on both sides of the ball, and when a team comes in here where our personnel is probably a little bit better, you're going to see some of those things. You're going to see those wrinkles, and that's why everything we do from an offensive, defensive, and special team standpoint has to have airtight rules, because when they're on the field and we can't be out there with them like we're on the practice field, the rules got to take over. That being said, the adjustments they were made. They were made relatively quickly. They still got us on the trick play, which is a pretty good play. You like to say keep your eyes on your luggage when you're playing man. Well, we didn't keep our eyes on our luggage. They got behind us, and they made us pay for that one. But overall, just a really good job, just knocking back the line of scrimmage, which is going to be at the forefront of everything we do.
Kind of a big picture view of this team. Your program had a mild amount of buzz coming into the season, but it's a little hard to kind of gauge the potential after 2 one-sided games. What do you like about what this team has shown so far, and how far do you have to go to play to your potential at this point?
Sure, that's a great question. I think more than anything, the approach and the message all week was that, real competitors, they're never affected by the outside elements. They're just not. It doesn't matter who they're playing. It doesn't matter when they're playing, where they're playing. It doesn't matter, anything on the outside. But what does matter is the standard of which they play to and which they hold themselves to. And I think we're adopting that kind of mentality. We want to make it stronger. We want to make it better. But certainly it was something that we had stressed and we had preached, and that for us to reach and attain our goals, everyone's got to play to a championship level on a rep-by-rep basis. You can't pick and choose when you're going to be a good player. You can't pick and choose when you're going to be at your best. So you've got one gear, and that's all out. And anything aside from that just won't be acceptable.
It seemed like Justin, the first maybe a couple series, got some pressures on him. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like you guys protected him, and what were kind of the adjustments that you maybe made to fix that?
Yeah, early not as well as we wanted to. They brought a late rover pressure, almost like a green dog. The back checked. Saw him kind of sit inside his zone. They're playing a little bit of that post-safety stuff. So he kind of sat in there, looked like he was going to be the hook player. And all of a sudden the back took off, and he came late. And then on another play action protection, very similar, the corner kind of hung in there, showed like he wasn't going to come, and then bam, he hit it late. So we decided let's not worry about getting the back out. All right, check, double check, and triple check to make sure that we don't get the quarterback hit. They did get us on an ET end first tackle around where the 2Y was really tight to the center, and the tackle and the guard were trying to pass that off to a downfield throw, so they got us on one of those. But aside from that, I think we shorted up as it went on. We started sliding it a little bit more, making sure we handled all that. That flex stack look with that linebacker off the ball, it's stunt laden. Almost every play, every other play, you've got a twist, you've got a stunt, so you've got to be on point technically. And I think as the game went on, things improved minus the sack that we had there in the third quarter.
Yeah, two-part question for you. First off, just a couple 100-yard rushers. Would you see from the running backs today? And then second part is, was today a good indication of what we're going to see moving forward with Tony and CJ getting?
That's a two-part trick question. Well, it's one thing we wanted to do, and coming into this game, we knew they played man coverage, and we wanted to be really sharp in what we did in the passing game and protections. And I think we kind of did that early. And as the second quarter went on, we wanted to establish ourselves as a team that could, play with some power, get behind our offensive linemen and tight ends, and run the football. Now, again, you see there's 76 plays on paper. Their strategy was to take the air out of the football, right? Limit the amount of possessions that we got. The ones, I believe, went 7 for 9, something of that nature. We want to have more than that. But if you have the ball 9 times, you better score 7, 8 of them, right? At least. We felt Tony really ran hard. He ran hard. We felt that he was seeing things good. He was hitting it hard. CJ and Travis, they got their opportunities. They made the most of it. Darren Felix will be involved more in the game next week. I know this week he didn't get to touch the football like we had planned, but he is a big part of it. And Taj had a couple nice plays as well. So, look, if we look at it this way, they've all done a really good job throughout camp. They continue to get better. At some point in time, there might be a time where 3 of them touch the ball, maybe 2 of them, but up until that, that time constricts us or that moment kind of restricts us from doing so. We want guys playing. We want a lot of guys playing. We want guys gaining experience because we're going to need every single one of them. And more importantly, they've earned it. And guys that earn playing time, they played today. We played. Stephen Jones played today, at left tackle for a few snaps and did a really good job. So, but I know that was a 2-part question. I probably answered neither part 1 or part 2. But hopefully it made some kind of sense.
Front row on the right, AJ.
Coach, you got to see a lot of guys. The Duck fans got to see a lot of guys they haven't seen too much of. Without seeing film, do you have anyone that kind of stands out or people that stand out? They did a really good job today.
Gosh, it's going to be hard to tell. I know obviously the guys that touched the ball near the end zone did a good job. I know Tabari got his first touches. Kano got his first touch. Obviously hard to ignore that. He carried about 6 people in the end zone with him on that particular play. It was great to see Travis Dye hit the gas and run outside zone the way it's supposed to be run. All right, that was a really good job by him. Really good job by the tight ends. You saw guys like we mentioned Kano, but Ryan Bay. Ryan Bay played a lot of football today, and he did a really good job. So did Hunter Campmoyer. But I know Javon Holland continues to get better. I saw Hockey get out there and do some really good things. We'll have to get on the film, which we will, right? That's our day. The rest of the day, I know you get to enjoy football and, your barbecue, but we got to go do our grading for the next about 8 hours. Let me know how it goes. Send me some snapshots. But I think overall what you saw, look, I get it. We had a personnel advantage. You ain't going to deny that. But that our guys continued to play at a high level from an effort standpoint and attention to detail standpoint was good. We had 5 penalties. And Lana, I love Lana like my own son, but I'm sure he would love to have that one back where he took a head start to jump over the center. We like to have that one back. We had a substitution one, which, as a staff, we'll probably run an extra gasser after practice as a staff because that's on us. That can't happen. So there's some things that we certainly want to clean up and have back. But overall, just the vibe, the energy, the attention on the sideline. You always know, right, when you have those guys in the huddle on the sideline before they take the field, what it looks like, what's in their eyes. And it's a good look in their eyes, and we gotta keep getting it better.
Second row middle, John.
Nothing against Portland State, but do you feel like maybe a challenge for you guys at this point? Are you still curious to know who you really are, or do you have that sense after 2 games?
I feel like we know who we are. We haven't been tested, right? I mean, I think in the little time that you guys know me, I'm not going to sit up here and throw you a curveball or not be honest. The only way we could test ourselves up until this point, and again, I want to say I fully respect both teams we just played. Okay, it is not a matter of that. We just have a personnel advantage, and we acknowledge that. But our tests have to come every day in practice. They have to come, and we have a test this week coming up as well, and then San Jose State. But we need to test ourselves every day. We do. We go good on good every single day, and we have to keep doing that because it's the only way. It's the only way to find out. So I agree with you. We got to keep working and. Let's go find out.
The defensive line seemed like almost every play was getting after Portland State's quarterback. What was your assessment of them, and also what's it like to have a guy like Gus Cumberlander back fully healthy?
Oh man, it's great to see Gus out there, right? I mean, he's as tall as a palm tree. I mean, he got his hands on blockers, and he's able to get just full extension without allowing guys to get hands on him. And he's really worked at this. I think you guys would get a kick out of watching the way that Joe Salaveo works that defensive line, the way that triple extension is always emphasized, playing with power, coming out of their hips, playing with their feet in the ground and with a base and locking guys out. With a lot of the 2-gapping stuff that we do in the run game, it's important to play with power. And a lot of that is technical. Well, we feel like our guys play with a lot better pad level, a lot better job with their hands, and certainly affected the line of scrimmage, a lot more, controlled the line of scrimmage a lot better than we did a week ago. So certainly progress in that area. And again, great to see Jalen and Justin when they go, man, they're hard to stop.
On the right, in the middle, Jack.
Through 2 weeks, are you happy with how some of the offensive transfers have come in and fit? Dallas, Tabari, Kano, and what do you want from them kind of going forward in the next couple of weeks?
What we want from them is what we want from everybody. Because when they come here and they get their lockers don't ever say that they're a grad transfer. They don't say, actually the lockers say where they're from. So it does say where they're from. They kind of have a unique thing in there, but it doesn't say what year they are or whatnot, which is kind of neat. And, when you have a grad transfer come into your program, you expect them to be a little bit more seasoned than some of the freshmen. And so far, so good. They've shown that. And it was good to see. Tabari was banged up during camp, so he missed a lot of time. And so was Kano. So they've healed up. They've learned the offense. They get after it. I think they've done a great job fitting in with our guys. I think our players have done a great job helping them and supporting them in their roles, and the vice versa. They have as well. So they fit well. And I think, we understand as much as we spread the ball around in this offense, when you watch this on paper, you've got to be unselfish to be a part of this locker room. It's the only way.
You mentioned Stephen Jones got in there. It's easy for us, obviously, to keep track of the running back and wide receiver touches, but how deep is your offensive line now? How many guys, as you say, can you win a championship with at this point?
Well, we'll watch the film and see, but it was good to see those guys take 2 series and predominantly run the football and get downfield, particularly in the middle of the defense. But all those guys got to play. We really feel good about guys like Brady. We consider Brady a yellow, a co-starter. Capra's almost, at that point as well. He's done a really, really good job. George was right at that point as well. I know he tweaked his ankle a little bit, but I don't know. I think we're at 8 guys. I think we're at 8, trying to go for 9. What's his name? Steven went in there. It's like, what I saw from the sideline looked like a big old grizzly bear. He just swallowed up the 3 technique and knocked them off the ball, and we're able to get a big run out of it. So we're going to play him more. We're going to play him more. He's earned it, so we're going to do it.
Front left, Matt.
What's the debate like of when to put in your backup quarterbacks for Burmeister? And then I guess the second question is, what was the decision of playing Shuck late in the game?
Mm-hmm. Burmeister, when we feel that we've accomplished what we wanted to offensively, and we feel like we have the momentum of the game, we've seen enough what we wanted to see. We had a comfortable lead, but we hadn't really just taken a drive to pound the football. So we did it for a couple of drives, and we still wanted Justin in there with those guys. So again, playing more football. I believe they only had at that point 47 snaps. Braxton has earned the right to play, so we wanted to see him in there running the offense, and felt that it's time to get a third quarterback some reps as well. The season is long. You never know what it holds for us. So the more guys we can get ready, the better.
Hi, Coach. Going on what Ryan and John asked you about, do you know where you are yet? And about the offensive line, given the opponents, given that you got 3 guys back, plus Penny Sewell on the left and Dallas on the inside, how good is this offensive line in your eyes? Is it more powerful? Is it hard to tell yet? Because when you go into Pac-12, it'll be a different animal, kind of. Are you going to be able to power the ball more in your mind?
Well, I think someone said it over here a little while ago. Let's go find out, right? Well, we're going to go find out. I do think we have powerful guys, and we stress power and playing with power. I don't think you get up in front of the podium before a game and pound your chest and say, "Hey, here come the power guys." I don't think you do that. I think when you watch us on film and what we've seen so far, we feel strongly that our guys are ready to take that next step. And I've been lucky. I've been around some really good offensive lines, and I think we have the ability, we have the want to, the desire, the professionalism. These guys are really fun, and really, we tell our young guys all the time, watch how Jake Hansen approaches game week. Watch how he's in the tubs, he's getting those air boots on his legs. Watch how he's in the film room. Watch how he's on that iPad. Watch how these guys prepare. Well, these guys have the right DNA, and they've got the ability to go with it. So I think we have the makings of a great offensive line. I don't think we're there yet, by any stretch of the imagination, but I think we're closing ground quickly, and we're going to, that position, since that's the one I'm, most directly involved with, we're going to press those guys about as hard as humanly possible.
All right, last question, Tyson, in the middle back.
Did you guys ever have to spy on that starting quarterback, or were you getting enough push from the defensive line that it kind of neutralized that? And what did you see from your team today that when you guys do face a mobile quarterback like Arizona's or whatnot, how do you think you'll fare?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. When you're playing coverage, if you're bringing 4, you got to be careful in playing things like 2-man, where everybody's got their back turned. You've got 2 high safeties where if there's one gap, if you're one gap short, that guy's going to sprint for a mile. We've got a couple different packages where we rush 3 and rush 4, where we force the quarterback to break contain so that we can track him down with a spy, whether it be an extra backer, whether it be a quicker outside linebacker. So I know there's a couple disciplinary things that we could have done better, up front, because we did, he did come out of the pocket, a couple of times and made some plays, but we'd like to always, first and foremost, solve it with our rush, because with gap integrity, you should have it bottled up. But number 2, when a guy's that fast and that agile and that athletic, now you've got to have an answer, and having a spy is always a good answer.